Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Full Count. That's SportsMemo's MLB betting coverage show. We come to you live every weekday, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. My friends, we're going to be covering baseball with some of the best handicappers, analysts, columnists, and sports bettors on the planet. We're going to be giving out free picks on several games for today's card and plenty of time for you to get down on those free picks. I'm your host, world champion handicapper in Las Vegas's biggest daily sports bettor, Joe D'Amico. My friends, today is Friday, and this all-star panel, and it is an all-star panel, is going to knock it out of the park just for you, so you go into the weekend with a bankroll. Joining me today, leaderboard fixtures over at SportsMemo, Dr. Chuck and Mr. Kevin Thomas. Welcome, guys.
Good to be here on a Friday. Feel good Friday.
Now, guys, it's always a feel-good Friday when I get to spend my days with such great people, not just two of the best handicappers in the business, two of the best moneymakers in history of sports betting, two of the people I respect most, and two of my favorite people on the planet. I do want to do, before we go any further, Dr. Chuck, to all the people here at SportsMemo, to all the viewers out there, we want to say congratulations to you. My friends, Dr. Chuck, who already has a gorgeous family, has a new addition, a little baby boy, and he's debating naming him Little Joe after me. But no, we just want to say congratulations. God bless to you and your beautiful family and that new baby, Doc.
Thank you. Yep, and everybody's home and we're good to go. And it's going well so far. So let's hope he brings us some luck against the books here. Right?
That's great stuff. Now, guys, I don't want to put Kevin Thomas, in a corner, but his wife called me earlier, says she's actually expecting. No, I'm just kidding, Kevin. I didn't want to throw you for a loop. Kevin, it is always a great day when I get to spend time with you because you do such great work over at SportsMemo. Your angles, your analysis, top notch. And I'm always honored to share a panel with you. So happy Friday to you. Now, sports fans, we got a couple of quick announcements, and then we're going to go right into our roundtable games. First, I want to thank all of you. Without you, us at SportsMemo, we couldn't have hit the milestone of 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Because of you, we hit it the other day, and we're flying up again. Last check, we were up well over 5,000. But I've got to ask you something. I need another favor from you. Us at SportsMemo, we don't rest on our laurels. Just because we're the best betting website on the planet doesn't mean we're going to rest on our laurels anywhere. Not with our capping, not with our SEO, not with traffic driving, not with our customer service, and certainly not with the milestone of 5,000. We have a new milestone. We want to hit 10,000 by the end of football, and only you can get us there. So hit that subscribe button. And we want to hear from you. Comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like, because we're going to keep giving you top-notch and entertainment, top-notch content with a few laughs as well. And guys, I got to tell you, the stuff we're working on for football is going to revolutionize the sports betting industry. So you want to be a part of that. We want you a part of that. Other than that, guys, we've got a couple of great discounts. Through the end of the month, we got something very special. 50% off all daily pick packages of $25 or more. This runs through the 31st. The customer service that you receive from SportsMemo is unrivaled. One more quickie, and who doesn't like an afternoon quickie? I know I do because I'm married. I just want you guys to know that I'm going on vacation after today. I want you to know even God rested. He took a Sunday off, so Joe D could take a few weeks off from video content, but have no fear, okay? I'm still going to be posting winners over at sportsmemo.com. You can depend on me for my paid and free winners. And right now, in every category in baseball, the 3-day, the 7-day, the 30-day, oh, God, I'm number 1 or number 2, sharing the other spot with my wife, the First Lady of Las Vegas, Joe D'Amico. My other wife, Joe D'Amico. My wife, Dion D'Amico. So I want you to know you can still depend on me to post paid and free winners over at sportsmemo.com. But for a few weeks, I'm taking some video some days off from doing videos, but have no fear, guys. The first family show will be back, and the MLB full count show will resume next Thursday, right after the All-Star break. They're going to be bringing in some All-Star hosts for you. It's going to be some great stuff while I'm on hiatus. Having said all that, guys, we are going to go into 3 roundtable games that both the doctor and Kevin Thomas are going to be chiming in on. Then we have our best bet segment. So don't go anywhere. We have plenty of free content for you guys. Without any further ado, because you know how much I hate to do, the first roundtable game, American League East short series. The oldest and most heated rivalry. Let me try that again. Those hooked on phonics. I'm excited about vacation, guys. The oldest and most heated rivalry in all of baseball. I just think this is a great short series to go into. This is like literally when you go see a concert and the encore comes on. The band plays all their great hits, and then their encore comes on. It's their single best hit of all time. This is the most heated rivalry in all of sports, let alone in baseball. And this is big. A lot of people think that the Yankees might be a little fatigued after playing almost 90 games. I don't know that. I'm a Yankee fan, but a lot of teams are fatigued this time. They could use a break. So for our first game, Red Sox at Yankees. New York is currently $1.70, a total of 8 flat. Let's go to the doctor. He's making a house call. Dr. Chuck, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so the first game here, a game near and dear to Joe's heart, of course. His team is hosting the Red Sox, of course, off of a series they just played last weekend. Yankees have kind of done this where, they played the Guardians, played them pretty well, started the series with the Pirates, flubbed it up in game one, did the same thing, really hard fought, split series against the Red Sox of 4 games, lost that last game with a big lead, and the Red Sox just, pummeled them with 9 runs to finish. And then they go to, they're get back home from Fenway. Reds come in. Reds are the Reds, and what happens? But the Reds, just pile on the money. Ridiculous lines the Yankees were laying. Reds won 2 of them, probably should have won all 3. And the Yankees kind of do that. And I love the spot right after that, because what's underrated here is people are like, oh, the Yankees are posers, and everybody wants to fade the Yankees, and look at them. They can't beat the Pirates. They can't beat the Reds type stuff. But here they are now facing the Red Sox twice in a week. This time it's at home. Bitter taste in their mouths from the Red series, even more of a bitter taste in their mouth from the last series. They get Eovaldi at home tonight. Excellent spot with the Red Sox coming off of a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Rays, which is ridiculous. Red Sox stay on the road. I think the line is maybe a little bit short, but I can't expect the books to keep hanging the Yankees as such a big favorite. But I think that the Yankees mindset with Booney and the team is just, I think that they are playing to the level of their competition just a little bit. And I don't think that they're going to care that the Red Sox haven't looked good recently and have lost 6 of 8 and things like that, because Monty's on the mound. They've been giving him a little more run support. Of course, they hate facing Eovaldi. They don't like him. No love lost there, with their former guy. And I just think that the Yankees come back really angry from last night. Reds put up 3 in the 10th, and they couldn't quite match it, even with the ghost runner and stuff, and they lost a series to the Reds. If you were on the Reds in all 3 games, you made 114% return on interest in both straight up and the run line. I would probably lay 2.5 here. I know that I'm piling on the Red Sox, but the Red Sox had no reason to let down. They were facing a team they should have come out of winning those last 2 games against the Yankees and just taken it to the Rays. The Rays offense is injured, the pitching is injured, and I think they're just in another one of those doldrums, and I think it's going to continue on to the All-Star break. I'd find multiple different ways to back the Yankees, maybe a team total over here, but maybe a full game over is fine too, because I love the Yankees to score 5, 6, 7 runs. And so a lot of different ways to attack it, and none of them involve the Red Sox.
Sports fans, it's another great breakdown from one of the best analysts I've ever seen in this business, Dr. Chuck. Dr. Chuck, great stuff. One thing I did read today, Doc, real quick. The Yankees, they lost one of their starting pitchers. He's on the injured list right now for 15 days. Smart move. Get him a few days before All-Star break. Put him off All-Star break. Then he's only misses maybe 1 rotation afterwards. But the Red Sox did get a couple of guys back. They got a pitcher back. They got a position player back. The Rays got a couple of guys back. Is this something the Yankees should worry about right now, Dr. Chuck?
Depending upon I think they are going to start. Worry's going to start to creep in. I mean, it depends. Joe's going to talk about this a little bit later. It depends on what's going on north of the border. There might only be 2 teams that they have to contend with as this season goes on, if the Blue Jays are the dumpster fire that they seem to be. But I would worry only if the offense starts to drop down. The Yankees seem to take innings off, but they don't really take full games off. And I think that they could do a better job of playing up to the opponent. I just think that they are pretty deep, even with pitching. Clay Holmes was a disaster against the Reds, but I still think that might just be a mindset thing. You're playing basically what people consider one of the worst teams in baseball. I think when it comes to facing the Red Sox and facing the Rays, they're all in. I think the head-to-head matchup of those 38 times, is going to finish off with a pretty solid record. And so I wouldn't necessarily worry about that. You might need to worry more about Blue Jays and Orioles and other teams like you bring up, the Astros. The last thing, just because Raven Ron, 17 of 25 over in this spot with a team on a 4-game losing streak. So that is another consideration. But I still think the Yankees are going to cruise to this. I never pulled the trigger on them having 105 wins, but as that number keeps dropping, I'd look for that.
Great stuff from Dr. Chuck. Thank you, Dr. Chuck. By the way, Dr. Chuck, I have 3 words to say about the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. Bucky effing Dent. That's it. Rivalry's over. Let's go to Kevin Thomas, who's doing great work over at SportsMemo. Guys, he's all over the SportsMemo leaderboards in multiple sports. Kevin, I'm interested to see your angle on the Red Sox-Yankees, currently New York 170, 8/15. Kevin, the floor is yours.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me back with the Oakland Warriors, when they started their dynasty, how they would just take time off. I know Doc Chuck says it doesn't seem like they take time off, but those guys see that all-star break in those days coming up where they're going to have time off. So it looks like they've checked out. I mean, the bullpen, which was one of the top bullpens in the American League, has definitely not shown up in the past 5. I think they're 1-4 their last 5 games, but so are the Red Sox, 1-4. So I would definitely look at the over 8 here. But as John Ryan would do, I would wait till after the first or second inning because I could see that going 0-0 and that line coming down to 7, where I would put my whole bank on that going over 7. I mean, look at the series in Boston. I mean, did it even get under 20? Any of those games? I mean, it was just a home run bash. And then you got Devers back, and he kills the Yankees. He missed 2 of those games, but in the one game, he had like 3 hits, 3 RBIs. These Red Sox, they want this more, so I wouldn't touch that money line with a 10-foot pole unless I was taking the Red Sox. That's just too much. So I would definitely look at the over 8, but I would wait after the first or 2 innings because these 2 pitchers, they know their opponents well. And look at Eovaldi. He's probably not going to go more than 80 pitches. He hasn't pitched in a while, coming back from a back spasm, and I think he had something with his leg too. So that's never good for a pitcher to come back. But these guys got to be motivated going to the All-Star break, especially the way Chris Sale showed up for the Red Sox. I think this is going to come down to a heated battle at the end. I know 62 wins is a lot, and that's a long road to keep going. But I think it's going to be a tight race in the AL East, and I'm still looking at those Orioles too. But over 8.
Well, it is amazing that AL East, Kevin Thomas, he got, only a couple of games separating 4 teams. Everybody thinks Yankees, but this game, in a long season, you lose a starting pitcher. You never know what can happen, This isn't like an NFL season where your starting quarterback goes down. You go from a double-digit winning team down to 8 wins. It's a big difference. Kevin Thomas doing some great work over at SportsMemo. He says over 8 in this game. Thank you, Kevin. That was great. Go over after the show. Take advantage of those great customer appreciation discounts. Ride Kevin all the way to the bank. Guys, we have 2 more roundtable games before going to our best bet segment. Our second roundtable game. Now, this is interesting. 4 games, as I mentioned a moment ago, separate 4 teams in the American League East. So this is a big series. We got the Orioles at the Rays. Tampa Bay minus 130. 7.5 under 115. The doctor's making the house go. Doc, take it away. The emergency room is all yours.
Well, in our comments section, Raven Ron has already basically solidified all I really have to say a lot about this. I talked about it a little bit in that first game. The Rays are off of a 4-game sweep of the Red Sox, and people are not really – Jimmy Adams and I were discussing this recently, that it's silly to fade some of these teams right now as we're heading to the All-Star break. The Pirates are – at one point, they were 9-2 in this month. The O's were 8-3. Like, there are some serious dogs to make some money out there right now. And you're telling me the Rays are staying at home? The Orioles are coming in off of rest. The Rays just swept the Red Sox, and they're favored less than they were sometimes in the Boston series, and they're facing the Orioles. So, yeah, I mean, twist my arm here. Tyler Wells doesn't even have metrics I like to back, but Patino's coming back from not pitching in the major league since the first week, since his first start, when we all had high hopes for him, and he left right away, getting injured in that athletics series. And finally he's back. His ERA was pretty solid in AAA. His FIP was not. And it's not somebody that I want to come back in his first start in the major leagues and back against the Orioles in this spot. Interesting stat. The Orioles have been a road dog in the division 18 times. first month, they were six times. It was a disaster. They averaged losing 7-3, 0-6, 1-5 on the run line. Since then, they are 6-6 in the 12 games. They've covered 8 of the 12 run lines as a dog on the road in the division. And they've outscored their opponents, and they've pretty much out-hit them, out-extra base hit them. They've led more innings than them, and it's just not a situation where, unfortunately, I've been really raking it in with the O's on the run line. The O's on the run line, you're laying money now, so it's not as lucrative, but I would attack the O's in a couple different ways. And like Kevin said, never forget about live betting. If anybody, hits Wells, maybe takes him deep in the first or second inning, you're going to get better than the plus 115, plus 120. You might even move up into the plus normal, plus 150, plus 160 type range and get the O's then. But I'd be on the O's here and not the Rays, because just for no other reason than fade the bag.
There you go, sports fans. Dr. Chuck says he's on the Orioles. Great stuff, Dr. Chuck. It's funny. The Orioles, they're winning games. Obviously, they've won a great winning streak they're on. I still think their best baseball is yet to come, and I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people did not give the Orioles a shot in heck to do anything in this division. And I still think, despite them winning, they don't have a lot of pressure on them right now. I think the pressure is more over on Tampa Bay, Boston, and Toronto. So they could play a little more freely and looser, at least going into the All-Star break. And they take over second place in a few weeks from now. Maybe they start feeling pressure on them, but right now, pressure's off them. Guys, Dr. Chuck, one of the best technical guys I've ever seen in this business. We're going to go over to one of the best streetwise smart players I've ever seen, Kevin Thomas. Kevin, Orioles at Rays, Tampa Bay, 130, 7.5 under 15. The floor is yours.
Yeah, the Rays are off a sweep of the Red Sox, and that's always a team I like to fade when a big divisional game like that, and it's a sweep. I mean, when the Red Sox beat the Yankees, I backed the Red Sox the next week, and a good sharp buddy of mine told me I was a fool, and I was a fool for that one. So I won't be fooled here, but I have a pick on this game and on the total on this game. So I'm going to give you another total, the first 5 innings, because I think if all the runs are going to be scored here, it's going to be in the first 5 innings, because both these bullpens we know are excellent. I think the O's are ranked number 4th in the AL with their bullpen. They might actually jump ahead of the Yankees now. They might be 3rd or 2nd after the Yankees debacle. But these Orioles, I mean, they're I think one of their oldest players is 5th-year Santander. I mean, this team is built for success for the long run. And like I said in another show, Hyde better be in contention for Coach of the Year in the AL or in the whole MLB. The guy's doing great things there at these Orioles, and a 10-game winning streak. I'm excited for this team. I like watching this team. So I'm going to go and take the over 4, because you can get it at plus 105. I saw it over at DraftKings a little bit earlier. I actually locked it in. Plus 105 over 4 for the first 5 innings, because like I said, Wells hasn't had great success against the Rays, and these Orioles, they seem to score 2 or 3 runs in the first 3 innings every game. So I'm going to take that over 4 for the plus money. And the other 2, if you want them, you got to go over SportsMemo and pay for those.
Kevin Thomas, one of the sharpest streetwise players I've ever seen in this business. Over 4, first 5, plus 105. Kevin, during your first roundtable analysis, during the second, you talk about value one way or another. That's always, something we look for as sports handicappers and sports bettors. I think it applies more over in baseball, because we're dealing with juice more than any other major sport. What's your take on that? Is it always about value for you, Kevin?
Yeah, I won't bet it if I'm paying. If I got to pay $2 to win $1, I'm not making that bet. It just, like, my best bet, I'm actually going to change it in my head now that line moved up, because that just not something I like to put out. And I might only win 48, 49% of my bets, but as long as that at the end it has profits plus, that's what I look at. I don't, the wins and stuff, that's great, but I want plus money. So I stay away from minus 135 is probably the highest I go. So like when I sent you that one, and now it's up to minus 150, and it's kind of ugly.
Kevin Thomas, letting you behind the curtain. I love it, Kevin. Kevin, bottom line is, when you got money in your pocket, when you're winning money, it doesn't matter if you're 1-10 or 10-1. The guy with the most money is the winner. Great stuff from Kevin Thomas. Sports fans, don't go anywhere. We have our 3rd of 3 roundtable games before we go into our best bet segment. And this is my last show before going on video vacation. Now, I might make some videos at home with the missus, but that's not for personal. That's just for personal use. Just kidding, guys. Anyway, sports fans, our third round table game, two National League teams that in the preseason, a lot of people thought both were going to make the playoffs. I want to see both Dr. Chuck's and Kevin's take on this game. Milwaukee has a 3-game lead in the Central. Right now, San Francisco 13 games back in the West. We're talking about the Brewers at the Giants. Currently, Milwaukee 130, 7 over minus 120. Doctor, floor is yours.
And I'll start by saying you just got to be careful with those videos that you may make in the next couple weeks, Joe, because they can result in having a 5th kid. So you just have to be sure, not that I'm not ecstatic, but you have to make sure, Dion's still a spring chicken. So you have to just watch out there. And yeah, so.
Well, we'll be sure to let you know right away if we hear anything.
Probably I'm a broken record here, but Giants. I don't know. You want me to keep talking? I can keep talking. But if for no other reason than, they lost last night in extra innings, couldn't get Rodon the win, probably deserved it. Burns a little bit even tougher than Woodruff. I will, I can admit when I'm wrong. If it ends up happening that the Giants just keep doing this, they could lose again tonight. Nobody's unstoppable. Look at what we just talked about in these first two games of the show. But the Gabe Kapler off of a home loss is pretty fantastic. Just as the Giants manager, without taking the year of the Phillies into account, Kevin Thomas always has interesting aspects on Gabe Kapler, and isn't as incredibly bullish on him as I am. But I like the Alex Wood factor, the 2 straight lefty factor. But there's another way to look at this too with that 7. In addition to the fact that this has already moved so much that I really wouldn't want to be on anything but the Giants anyway. This opened at about even both sides. And as you can see, the Brewers are now laying more than $1.30. And so, like Kevin said, with value, if you really wanted the Brewers, you needed to be ready last night when they scored in the 10th inning. And, the line is already up for the following day. But I'll fade Woodruff, even if it's for a few runs. Giants, like I said, in a great spot here, but the under 7, which you're also getting, pretty solid minus 105, maybe even plus money at certain outs if you shop around for the right price. You're getting a good spot too, because there's a solid backing trends, about 72%, especially when it was this low scoring of a previous series game in extra innings. That's a solid underplay as well. First 5 under would be decent too, because the Giants offense is still the Giants offense, even as much as I trust them on the long haul. So a couple different ways to attack this, but I wouldn't be on the Brewers at this point, because I think you're getting a little bit less of a starter than Burns, and you're laying more money than Burns, and I just don't think that fits the value piece. All righty.
Well, Dr. Chuck, my friend, says G is for Giants and W is for wins, Doc. And Dr. Chuck certainly piles up those W's. He says the Giant. You pile up the W's. You're great.
It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with my Giants' future to make the playoffs. Nothing.
Absolutely not.
Nothing to do.
But you've been an advocate for the Giants all season long, quite a few times on this show, quite a few times on the First Family Show, and I love that. I love your analysis and your breakdown. Your logic is great. And as I said, G is for Giants, W is for wins. And the doctor puts up a lot of W's, guys. Go follow him after the show with those customer appreciation discounts. Let's go to KT, Kevin Thomas. Let's see his take. Kevin, Brewers and Giants, Milwaukee 130, 7 over 20. The floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, Alex Wood pitched a gem his last start against the Padres. I think he didn't give up any earned runs or anything and went 7 innings. But he's pitching for the Giants, and this team last night had 4 hits. I can't believe they even lasted as long as it did and was that close. I think the Brewers had almost 11 to 14 hits in that game. And both teams had the same batting average for a team, 236. But something with this Giants and not scoring runs scares me a lot in this game. That minus 130, as much as I wouldn't take it, I would take it and parlay it with maybe 2 of the other 2 games just to give it some value and some juice there, because I think Woodruff is good enough. I think he's going to come in and they win this. I think the Brewers have probably the 4th or 5th best bullpen in baseball. And the ageless wonder, McCutchen, the guy is just hitting the ball all over the place. And I can't take the Giants here just because they just don't score enough runs. It's a little I always look back past 5 because I figure that's momentum, and then you pretty much get your injury guys, and you can figure out who might come in and stuff. 2 of those games they scored double digits, and they still only average like 4.5, 5 runs.
Okay.
So I'm not high. I just think with the Brewers pitching and the bullpen, the Giants aren't going to score more than 3 runs again today, and they didn't even score that yesterday. So I think the Brewers win this one 4-3, and I think that ties the over/under here. So I might bet the tie for the over/under as a 7.
There you go, my friends. Kevin Thomas. He preaches value, 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 and he's a winner, winner, winner. He says Brewers. Guys, go over after the show. Take advantage of those customer appreciation discounts. Follow Kevin. You'll follow him all the way to the bank. My friends, we're going into the most exciting part of the show, the best bet segment. Let's go right into it. The doctor is making a special Friday house call. Doc, the floor is yours. He's also doing some great work over at SportsMemo. He's going to tell you maybe what he's excited about on the premium side as well. You can take advantage of those discounts. Doctor, take it away.
Yeah, so we have baseball up every day. You know, the volume is a little bit less than it has been in the past, but we always are finding value and opening up different avenues as to all kinds of different ways. You know, it's so much more than just betting a team to win or lose a game, as though it was 15 years ago or just 5 years ago even. You know, there's so many different ways. Kevin brought it up. You can bet the Baltimore Orioles team total over first 5, and that can be the most valuable bet on the entire night's card. It doesn't have to be an over or a full game over, a full game under, money line, anything like that. But I am looking at, there was a couple different ways. I was thinking about maybe the Rockies team total or winning that game against the Pirates in Colorado. But I think that the most valuable spot, and it seems like maybe it's a little bit the most low-hanging fruit, most low-hanging apple, shooting fish in a barrel spot, because you get Sandy at home. It is a divisional matchup against the Phillies, and, you know, sometimes the Phillies can be a little more dangerous on offense than a lot of the teams the Marlins have played lately. They had quite a series with the Pirates all week and ended up splitting that, but all low scoring. And if you take into account just July, which we've almost had 2 weeks of now, the Phillies on the road have averaged 1 run flat, 1.00 runs in the first 5 innings since July 1st. Marlins have outscored them in July because they have put up 1.11 runs in the first 5 innings. That's before you take into account anything to do with Sandy, anything to do with Kyle Gibson. I can't believe that we get the hook on this. Maybe you won't get the hook on this all day, so I would hop on it as fast as you can. I can't imagine this is more than 2-1, and 2-1 is far north of my 1-0 ceiling for this first 5 games. So I think the value is unbelievable on this. Hopefully it's not that stinky, because, you know, what can Vegas really do? They can't really hang a 2.5, even if they want to. They pretty much have to hang a 3.5 at worst, and then let that drop to 3 if the money dictates. But I think this is 1-0 Marlins after 5, and maybe similar to the way the Giants have looked, 5 hits total.
There you go. Dr. Chuck with another best bet release, and his best bets have been doing great on this show. He says Phillies Marlins first 5 under 3.5. Go follow the doctor after the show. Take advantage of him with those great discounts. Let's go to Kevin Thomas. Kevin is very excited about some things he's posting tonight and over the weekend. He's going to tell you about his premium side. He also has another free best bet for you. Kevin, take it away.
Over at SportsMemo, you can get my bases loaded 3-pack, where you'll get the 2 picks for that Orioles game. I usually don't like to put 2 on the same game because some betting websites don't let you bet both, but it was just too good value for me to pass. So spread it around if you have to. And like I tell everyone, just go to SportsMemo and just click on deals. I mean, holy mackerel, they are offering so many great deals. I'm not even going to list them all. Just go over there and check it out. I mean, look at what's scrolling right there. 50% all access daily. And I think the people watching live are even getting great deals going on right now too. So go over to SportsMemo, check out all the great cappers over there. I know Joe and the owner, 2 of the top. Dr. Chuck's always up there. Any one of us, go over there, check that out. But I'm looking at the Reds here. Now, when I sent it to Joe earlier, like I said, I took the Reds plus 1.5 minus 150, knock out that 1.5. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and take the Reds plus 122 here. I mean, what am I going to say? Hunter Green's on the mound. And like I said, I'm high on this kid. He has the high velocity. He's been a little sporadic, but his last start, he went to 6 innings. I think he gave up a couple of hits there, 0 earned runs. So they're playing the Cardinals, who are pretty banged up. Still no Molina. He's the heart and soul, as I say most catchers are of the team. But they're starting Palanta. I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right, but I look back, 24 hits, 15 innings, 12 earned runs. This Reds team has scored 30-some runs in the last 5 games, and they're not scoring like 10 runs in one game. They're scoring 6, 7 runs per game. I don't think it stops here. This is going to be a great battle. Two great teams. If you're a history of the game, you love it. I hope Dr. Chuck names his son Petey Rose. But this is going to be a great, great series here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Reds to win outright for that plus 122.
Gotta love it. Preaching value every time he's on this in the First Family Show. Changes his best bet because the line moved, and I love it. He's good on the fly. I'm going to tell you now. Kevin Thomas, I love him. Go follow him over at SportsMemo. You'll follow him to the bank. I've got a quick best bet for everyone. I'm going to tell you right now before I give it out. Since Monday, my MLB releases, my friends, I got to tell you, just amazing. Perfect 5-0. $100 player is up $2,414. Today we continue to dominate on the diamond. I've got 2 big winners remaining on the board for tonight. My home run play, they've won 7 straight just over the last 8 or 9 days. Overall, 51-21. And my grand slam play, the last 5 years, the last 5 seasons, they're documented over 75%. I want everybody to win big today. It's my last day doing videos for a few weeks. I'm going on video vacay. So I post them over at SportsMemo. Get them both individually. There's a discount over there. The 50% off all access daily package brings it down even lower. Now, I want you to know I'm going to give out the same free play right now that I gave on the First Family Show. And the reason I'm telling you why, there was a game rained out already today or postponed. We got some inclement weather possible in some other areas. The pickings are slim, and I want to make sure I give you a winner. Now, the line here is a little high. The juice here is a little high, but you don't pay juice on a winner, sports fans. So let's go to the American League for Game 2 of the series between the Kansas City Royals and the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, folks, the Royals took Game 1 yesterday 3-1. Their pitching staff shut down the Blue Jays lineup pretty badly, guys. I mean, that's kind of an odd and rare occurrence for the KC pitchers, that's for sure. I mean, really, they're ranked 27th in the league in team ERA. They're dead last in the whip because everybody likes to be whipped. Today, Zach Greinke takes the hill for them. The right-hander, 3-5 with a 4.52 on the campaign. To be quite honest with you, if you look at his stats this season, look close at them. Look at his starts, my friend. When he faces bad teams, he puts up good numbers. When he faces good lineups, his stats decline drastically. No argument there. I mean, you got to check that out. Toronto will break out here today and attack the aged pitcher, and he is aged, guys. Speaking of pitchers, Alex Manoah takes the mound at home, the all-star right-hander. 9-4 with a 2.34 on the campaign and 2 career outings against the Royals. He's 2-0 with a 0.00 ERA. This is for our producer, Chris. Boom! Enough said there, Chris. Guys, Toronto 5-2 the last 7 versus Kansas City. 7-3 the last 10 at home versus right-handed starters. Let's go to the other side. KC 7-19 the last 26 on AstroTurf. 6-13 the last 19 on the road versus right-handers. Both on the mound and at the plate. The Blue Jays are significantly better than the Royals. Look for them to break out here, get a couple of wins before the All-Star break. Take Toronto on the run line. I got a free bonus play, even though the line is high, because I promised a bonus play. If we hit over 5,000 milestone on YouTube, we did. Guys, I like Miami to actually crush Philly. Sorry, KT, I didn't plan that for you. I like Miami. They're playing good. I like the matchups. It's a little high the line. Take it anyway. Take it to the bank. Let's bring our panel back. We're going to take off in a minute, but I've got a couple of quick announcements. First of all, guys, be sure to tune in again starting this Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Full count. We're going to be coming at you live with special guests. Our producer, Chris, we got some all-star guys filling in while I'm on hiatus. You're going to love them. Treat them nice. Treat them like you would treat me. Treat them better than you would treat me because they deserve it. I'm going to tell you now, really, we love you for hitting that subscribe button. The last few days, you got us to our 5,000 milestone. But you know what? Hit it again. All the new people out there, I know you like what you see. We got great content coming to you. New content in August for football. Some great concepts, the most exciting things, the cutting edge in sports betting, and the best video content in the business this football season is nowhere else but right here at Sports Memo. So new people, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert button, so you know every time one of our shows come on, you won't regret it. We need your help. Special shout out Dr. Chuck. God bless you and your new addition, that beautiful baby boy. God bless. And Joey does make a great name, and I make a great godfather. Throwing that out there, sports fans. My friends, it's that time to take off. But once again, get 3 days all access at 50% off for a full count cappers. Use code MLB3 at checkout. Also, that other great discount we got, 50% off any daily all access packages, $25 or more. That goes through the 31st. My friends, I am on vacation from this and the First Family Show just till the end of the month, but don't feel bad. I'll be back. I'll be sitting by the pool, drinking a lot of beer, having fun with the dogs, eating good food, and seeing shows. Got Machine Gun Kelly tonight, Journey tomorrow. We got some great things popping up. I'll be with our producer, Chris, and the great Detroit team. Lexi's coming out. We're going to have some fun. We're going to whoop it up. We might even be starring in our own show, probably called Cops, knowing this crew. We'll be on Cops next week. It'll be a good addition. We'll have some fun. Guys, I want to thank all of you for hitting that subscribe button. I want to thank all of you for these past year that we're doing videos. We have grown 3-4-fold actually, and by football season we want to double that again, and with your help we can do it. We want to thank you. I'm going on vacation. I'm babbling a little bit because I'm excited. I just want to say thank you to everybody out there. My friends, on behalf of Sports Memo, Kevin, Dr. Chuck, this is Joe D'Amico. Good luck and have a winning day.